Hello boys and girls, how are you doing today? Today we will be reviewing area and perimeter. We will review the difference between them, how to find area and perimeter, and how to find the area and perimeter of a composite figure. So let's start together, but before we start, let's remember the difference between area and perimeter. Area is measured in square units and it represents the number of those square units needed to cover a figure without overlapping. What about if we don't have the square units? We can make an array inside the figure and find out the area of this figure, or we can multiply the length and the width to find the area of the figure. What about the perimeter? The perimeter is the distance around a figure. Again, the perimeter is the distance around a figure. So, how can I find the perimeter? I add all the sides of the figure. And if it's in square units, I count all the square units around the figure. Now, let's start solving some questions for our review. Question number 1. Which of the rectangles has the same perimeter as the square shown? So, we need to find the perimeter first. We need to find the perimeter of the square and then the perimeter of each rectangle, and then we compare and see which rectangle has the same perimeter as the square. Let's start. How can we find the perimeter of this square? By adding all the sides. 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 equals 8 plus 8, 16, plus 8 plus 8, 16. 16 plus 16 is 32. So the perimeter of the square is 32 inches. Now, the first rectangle. What is the perimeter of the first rectangle? We know that the length is 9 and the width is 6. So 9 plus 6 plus 9 plus 6. We add all the sides. 9 plus 6, 15. 9 plus 6, 15. 15 plus 15 is 30 inches. Now, rectangle B. The length is 10, the width is 5. 10 plus 5 plus 10 plus 5 is 10 plus 5 again, 15, plus 10 plus 5, 15. 15 plus 15 is again 30 inches. Rectangle C. The length is 10, the width is 6. Let's do it on this side. So 10 plus 6 plus 10 plus 6. 10 plus 6 is 16. 10 plus 6 is 16. 16 plus 16 is 32. So before we move on to the last rectangle, 32 and the square has 32 inches too. So most probably rectangle C is the correct one. But to make sure that our answer is correct, we need to find the perimeter of the last rectangle. We have a length of 9 inches and a width of 5 inches. So 9 plus 5 plus 9 plus 5 is 9 plus 5, 14, plus 9 plus 5, 14. 14 plus 14 is 28 inches. So, rectangle C is our correct answer. Now, let's find which square or rectangle has the same area as the rectangle shown. Again, we said, how can we find the area? The area is measured in square units and represents the number of those square units needed to cover a figure. So here we have square units that are covering this rectangle. Let's find the area. Let's count all the square units and we will be finding the area of this rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So the area of this rectangle is 16 square units. Or we can multiply. We know that area equals length multiplied by width. What is the length of this rectangle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, and the width is 1, 2, 2. So 8 multiplied by 2 is 16. Now let's find the area of each of the square or rectangle shown here and compare it with the rectangle that we already have. A 4 by 4 square. 4 by 4, how can we find the area? By multiplying. 4 multiplied by 4 is 16. Oh, so this square might have the same area as this rectangle, but let's make sure by finding the area of the rest of the rectangles. A 3 by 4 rectangle. 3 multiplied by 4 is 12. So no, it's not this one. A 3 by 5 rectangle. 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. No, it's not this rectangle. The last one, 2 by 7 rectangle. 2 multiplied by 7 is 14. Again, it's not this one. So it's rectangle, it's square A that has the same area as the rectangle shown. Now, let's find the area of the composite figure shown. Here we have a composite figure. Remember when we talked about composite figure, we said that the first thing that we should do is dividing the composite figure into rectangles. Here I can start with this side and put a line. Here from this side I put a line. So now I have 3 rectangles. Rectangle A, rectangle B, rectangle C. Now let's first see the sides of each rectangle. Rectangle A has 3 and 3, 3 by 3. Rectangle B has 5 and I don't know the side. So how can I find it? I know that this whole side is 8 and this small side is 3. So 8 minus 3 equals 5. So this side from here to here, it's 5 feet. So now I know that this rectangle B has a length of 5 and a width of 5. Now the last rectangle, rectangle C, it has a length of 2 and a width of 1. Now let's find the area of each rectangle. We will start by A. A has an area of 3 by 3, which is 9 feet. Now rectangle B has an area of 5 by 5, 25 feet. Finally, rectangle C has an area of 1 by 2, 2 feet. Now we know the area of all the rectangles that we've divided. Let's add them up to know the final the area of the whole composite figure. 9 plus 25 plus 2 is 9 plus 5, 14, plus 2, 16, 6, I'll give 1 to the 10th, 1 plus 2, 3. So the area of the composite figure is 36 square feet. Now, let's find the parameter of the shaded figure, but this time in units. We will not be adding all the sides, we will be counting the square units around this figure because the parameter is the distance around the figure. So we will be counting the squares around the figure. Let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So the parameter of this shaded figure is 22 square units. Take a very deep look. What did I do here? I counted this square twice. Why? Because here it represents this one unit and here it represents the second unit. If I didn't count it twice, the parameter will be 21, which is wrong because here my figure has a parameter of 22 units. Now let's find the area of this house. Delania drew a house on the grid paper and we need to find the area of the house. In this house, first we need to count the whole squares, then the half squares. Do you remember the half squares? We said before that 2 half squares equal 1 whole square. So let's find the area. Again, the area is what the square units that are covering the figure. So let's count first the whole squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So we have 36 whole squares. Now, how many halves do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 halves. So each 2 halves is 1 whole. Let's count them by 2. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2 squares. And finally 1, 2, that's the third squares. So we have 6 halves, which means 3 whole squares. So now 36 plus 3 is 39. So the area of this figure or this house is 39 square units. And we're done. Now go and solve the area and parameter assessment on your McGraw Hill account.